For all things ATL. For everything Falcons.
First to the end zone, touchdown!
This is Peachtree Football. Now, your host, Dylan Matthews and Beau Morgan.
So first things first, SquidBilly. The Falcons started training camp today, and they have sent out a media release, press release, with a couple of bits of news. Number one, the Falcons have re-signed tight end MyCole Pruitt. And Mike, this is actually a really good move for the Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion. We know they traded for Jonnu Smith this offseason. Obviously, we know they have Kyle Pitts, but MyCole Pruitt was a guy that really came on strong. Really, he was pretty solid, honestly, throughout the entirety of the year. Now I think about it, I don't think even say coming on strong does him justice, because he was really solid throughout the season and started catching some touchdowns towards the end of the year as well. I think he finished the year with 3 or 4 touchdowns. I don't have it right in front of me, but he was 4 touchdowns. Yes. Thank you, Beau. And he was a guy that ended up being a red zone threat for the Falcons and ended up being a very good red zone threat for the Falcons. So this is a very good signing. And look, you can never have one too many pass catchers. He's also a very good blocker. I don't want to take that away from him as well. So just another versatile tight end, another pass catcher, another weapon for Desmond Ridder, and another guy who can help block in the running game. So just an overall very versatile, very good weapon for the Atlanta Falcons when you talk about on the offense, Beau.
Yeah, and he's a familiar face for Desmond. So Desmond got to play with him last year. So now you look at I think Parker Hesse is still on this team. I'd have to double check, but you have, and Parker Hesse is a guy that kind of played a hybrid role for this team. But you go to that and you have MyCole Pruitt, Jonnu Smith, and Kyle Pitts. I think this is a situation where MyCole Pruitt still has some work to do. And I mean that not in a negative way, but he's going to have to kind of make this team. Because right now, Kyle Pitts, Jonnu Smith, MyCole Pruitt, and Parker Hesse, and these are, are you going to carry 4 tight ends? I wouldn't think so.
Seems like a lot.
Could you move now? Parker Hesse could be a guy that starts from the practice squad. Maybe Keith Smith's job's in jeopardy. But I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
For the sake of you, Dylan, I would think your doppelganger should stay. Keith Smith, you got the best out of him under Arthur Smith. And because I didn't think he played his best ball before, because he was here a year or two before. And he wasn't a guy I was overly high on, but I thought he did a really good job the last few years. So I'm excited to see him come back, and I'm seeing MyCole Pruitt. And I think that you can find a role for Parker Hesse if you need, or have on the practice squad and a guy that maybe bounces around. But, it's just depth. Look, it's depth. Yeah. And those guys are going to be going for that 3rd tight end spot. I think you will carry 3 tight ends easily. So you're going to have the guys that are battling for it. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe you don't. Maybe you roll in with 4 tight ends and you carry 3 backs to start the year. And then you have a fullback. And you have Hesse who can do both. That would make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
But when you do that, these guys got to play special teams as well. And I know Keith Smith can do that. I know Parker Hesse can do that. And I know MyCole Pruitt can do that. So,
man, I'm already imagining a super duper jumbo package that has my twin Keith Smith at fullback, Jonnu Smith and MyCole Pruitt and twin tight ends, and Kyle Pitts at lining up outside a receiver. I'm already imagining Arthur Smith doing something crazy good with that. So I already have that thought in my head. So I wonder if we'll get to see that at all this season. But no, to your point, depth is always good. It's always good to have quality guys behind, obviously like Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith. So we'll see what kind of role MyCole Pruitt ends up having. But again, it's never, ever a bad thing to have guys like MyCole Pruitt on your team who can do a little bit of everything. Again, so I think this is a really good signing for the Falcons, and I'm glad MyCole Pruitt is back on the squad. All right, moving on.